How can organizations head off problems with ethics before they become a major issue? Joining us for this week's Smith Business Close-Up is Debra Shapiro, the Clarice Smith Professor of Management and Organization at the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's begin with the importance of ethics. Why does that deserve focus?
Well, the reason it deserves focus is because, first of all, of course, it's the right thing to do. But from maybe a more practical standpoint, companies that fail to be ethical are at risk of becoming the next scandalous headline, and that is disastrous for them for many obvious reasons, including financial.
What does research tell us about how organizations can avoid that kind of fate?
Well, the fact is, wrongdoing happens in organizations. It doesn't always happen purposefully. And the important thing is when it does happen, employees at all levels, not just at the top, should feel safe in reporting it internally, because if that's what happens and if it's responded to internally, then it's quickly taken care of, the corrective actions are taken, ethics occurs, and the fate of a scandalous headline disappears.
How do you build an organization that is focused on that as an objective? So I'm thinking that the normal corporation is in business to make money. People are compensated for, in part, how they contribute to making money, and nobody's really paid or incentivized to focus on ethics.
Well, first, let me say, I don't think that the focus on making money or being successful with any metric ever disappears. That's always part of any good ethics program. I think what the ethics incentives do is just help people recognize that they need to achieve their objectives ethically, or their objectives will not be reached and, in fact, be subverted.
So let's talk about whistleblowers for a minute. Of late, there's been a number of them in the news. How do you see that and the laws that support whistleblowers? That's just another reason that companies need to get ahead of these issues.
Absolutely. And incidentally, the whistleblowers that are in the news are those who blew the whistle outside the walls of the organization. And that's precisely what ethics programs would encourage folks not to do, at least first, if they were to report wrongdoing they knew about inside. And if the insiders of the organization responded to the report in ways that, if there really is wrongdoing after investigation, put it to, made sure it ceased, then none of these external whistleblowing events would occur.
Talk a little about ethics training programs. How effective are they? What makes one good or bad? And how do you get people to buy into it?
Well, I think the first way to get people to buy into it is to, first of all, help them understand what is the overall set of objectives of the organization and how can those objectives best be met if everyone works in ways, among other things, that are, in fact, supportive of ethics. And so the two really go hand in hand. And as far as what the training needs to be, it really does need to be at all levels. And I think one of the mistakes that a lot of ethics programs make is they assume that the level that should be the target is only one, either at the very top, which supports the idea that leaders need to walk the talk, and if the leaders do, then employees will follow. The fallacy there is that leaders alone can't walk the talk. It has to be everybody. And the other mistake is if the supposed disciples of ethics need to be only at the lower level of the organization, because, again, that would suggest that they're not looking at the organization holistically, and they really need to.
So we're talking about really engineering or re-engineering corporate culture through the whole organization, that this is important.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, Debra Shapiro joining us from the Smith School of Business. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Take care.